What's happened is there are not many real Republicans anymore. By the way, your sitting governor, he's a Republican you can deal with. We disagree. No, I'm serious. But at least he's within the mainstream of the Republican Party. I respect conservative Republicans. I don't respect these MAGA Republicans. And folks, everybody thinks I'm exaggerating when I say this, but they're coming after your Social Security as well. And you think I'm kidding, but I'm not joking. Think about this. Think about what they're doing. And it's all there in black and white. He wants to require Congress to vote on the future of Social Security every 5 years. So, every 5 years, Congress can vote to change, cut, reduce, or entirely eliminate Social Security. How does that make you feel? Do you want to put your Social Security in the hands of Ted Cruz and Marjorie Taylor Greene? I mean it. But it's not just Social Security. Senator Scott wants everything in the federal budget voted on de novo every 5 years it goes out of existence. That includes Medicare, veterans benefits, and everything else. And then along comes Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. This is what they put this in writing now. This is their plan. He thinks 5 years is too long. I'm not joking. You think I'm making this up? He wants to put Social Security and Medicare on the chopping block every single year. You hear Republicans always talk about the deficit, right? About big spending Democrats. Well, guess what? When the last guy was president, he increased the debt by $2 trillion in tax cuts. Not a penny of it paid for, okay? Well, guess what we did? We reduced the deficit. The Inflation Reduction Act lowers the deficit by $300 billion over the next 10 years. And that's on top of the $350 billion I reduced the deficit last year and the $1.5 trillion reduced it this year. 2020, you and 81 million Americans voted to save our democracy. That's why Donald Trump isn't just a former president. He is a defeated former president. And it's not hyperbole. Now you need to vote to literally save democracy again. My friends, we offer a starkly different version and vision of this country, a vision of a better America that's within our reach, that's within our hands, if we just vote. If we elect 2 more senators, we keep the House and Democrats, we're going to get a lot of unfinished business we're going to get done. Folks, look, we'll codify Roe v. Wade. We'll ban assault weapons. We'll protect Social Security and Medicare. We'll pass universal pre-K. We'll restore the child care tax credit. We'll protect voting rights. We'll pass election reform and make sure no one ever has the opportunity to steal an election again. We're just 76 days away from the midterm election. 76 days. And to state the obvious, there's a lot at stake. So I want to be crystal clear about what's on the ballot this year. Your right to choose is on the ballot this year. The Social Security you paid for from the time you had a job is on the ballot. The safety of your kids from gun violence is on the ballot. And it's not hyperbole. The very survival of our planet is on the ballot. Your right to vote is on the ballot. Even the democracy. Are you ready to fight for these things now? Well, then you need to do one thing. Vote. Vote. You got it.
This is the president absolutely laying into Ted Cruz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Rick Scott, Ron Johnson, and even Trump. And let's be clear, for Joe Biden, of all people, to tear into those people like he's doing right now goes to show just how extreme and dangerous the Republican Party's become. Let's not forget, this is a president who goes to excruciating lengths to promote bipartisanship. In fact, he goes to such great lengths that it drives people like me crazy, but that's how much deference he's willing to give to Republicans. So for that guy to call these people out goes to show just how far off the cliff the GOP has gone. And how do you know? Because their agenda proves it. As Biden explained, the plan laid out by Rick Scott, the guy in charge of retaking the Senate for the Republican Party, wants all federal legislation to sunset after 5 years. And if you think that a Republican Congress or a Republican Senate would pass Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security again, you are kidding yourself. So if you're a senior, if you rely on those programs, if you have family members or loved ones or friends or neighbors who rely on those programs, or if you're simply capable of basic human compassion and understand that the elderly, the sick, the disabled, and the poor rely on those programs to survive, programs that we've all paid into and that we're all entitled to, then do not cast your ballot for a Republican, because they've already broadcast that if they take majority, those programs are as good as gone. Biden goes on to discuss the fact that Democrats are now reducing the deficit, which, ironically, is what Republicans campaign on. And yet when they're actually elected to office, what happens? The deficit explodes. Because God forbid we don't use every waking opportunity to give a tax cut to millionaires and billionaires. And yet still, they go on TV and tell you, just wait, the benefits from those tax cuts are going to trickle on down. Just like they've promised since Reagan took office, when they first started courting big business in the millionaire class. And take a look at this. Notice how wealth inequality has absolutely exploded in this country. And when did it start? Oh, right. Just around 1980, when Ronald Reagan took office, in case you were wondering how effective trickle-down has been. And finally, good on Biden for being crystal clear about what's at stake in this next election. If we hold the House and expand our Senate majority by just 2 seats, we can finally eliminate the filibuster and pass a law codifying Roe that Republicans have been attacking. We'll protect Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid that Republicans are attacking. We'll pass an assault weapons ban that Republicans won't let pass. We'll restore the child tax credit that lifted millions of kids out of poverty that Republicans refuse to vote for. And will finally pass voting protections that Republicans rely on to entrench their own power. Meaning we can ban gerrymanders, we can make Election Day a federal holiday, we can enact voter protections. This is the whole ballgame right here, and we have a rare opportunity to get it done. But that means everyone who turned out in 2020 needs to turn out again this November. Those same people need to recognize that while Trump might not be on the ballot, his agenda, his philosophy, his influence still is. And we have one more shot to stop all of those things ahead of 2024, when Republicans will undoubtedly fix all of the subversive elements that failed in 2020. I know the phrase, the most important election of our lifetimes, is overused and trite, but that's exactly what this is. And for someone as reluctant to defer to hyperbole as Joe Biden to be willing to admit that, then there's clearly some merit to it. So make sure you have a plan to vote, because everything is on the line in November. Before you go, couple things. First, if you want to support my work, the best way is to subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. And second, if you want to see and hear more from me, check out my website, briantylercohen.com. That way you can get links to my podcast, merchandise, ways to donate to voting rights organizations, and so much more. The thumbnail is also right here on the screen, so go check it out. And as always, thank you so much for watching.